In 2016, the Association of National Advertisers tackled a very important topic in our industry, media transparency. And they released a landmark study in the summer of 2016 that really became a wake-up call for our industry. It forced all participants to step back and look at the ecosystem through a new lens. Over the past 5 years, the Association of National Advertisers has done a tremendous amount of work keeping the important issues of media transparency front and center. And they continue to tackle those vexing issues head on. To mark the 5-year anniversary of the ANA Media Transparency Report, we spoke with a number of industry leaders to hear more about how they adapted to changes that were initiated by the report, how they took steps to actually follow through on the protocols and recommendations that were part of that report, and to hear a little bit about their ambitions as we look ahead. In this video, I catch up with Bill Duggan, Group Executive Vice President of the ANA, to reflect on the Media Transparency Report 5 years on. We discuss the challenges associated with ensuring widespread adoption of the recommended solutions and the opportunities that still lie ahead.
It's almost hard to believe that it's been 5 years, but we were working on this issue 5 years before that. So it's really been 10 years since ANA started work. And I feel the biggest accomplishment is, we did something huge, and we had the courage to push forward on it, even while there were voices suggesting that we didn't. For the first year after the transparency report was released, we featured the results in multiple ANA forums, committees, conferences, blogs. And interestingly, I had one member say to me, "When are you guys going to stop on this transparency? Enough, we get it." On the other hand, and I remember this was a speaker I had invited to the media conference, and it might have been the 2017 media conference to be a speaker. So a year after the report was released, this person was head of media for their organization. And I asked them, is it okay to ask questions about the ANA Transparency Report in the Q&A? And they said to me, "What's the ANA Transparency Report?" Everybody does remember the K2 report because, that was where the big, findings were, the buzzworthy news. Again, that was released in June. It was about a month later that ANA and Ubiquity teamed up to release the report of action steps. And that got less play. It was not as sexy. But there are still a number of those principles that we feel that advertisers have followed that they need to continue to follow as well. Clients can't be passive with the way they manage their media, and we had suggested that that big clients name a chief media officer. It could be that title, or it could be SVP media or head of media. But what it really meant is to put somebody in charge of the organization specifically and entirely on media. With all due respect to the CMO, media is too complicated, too fragmented. A subject matter expert is necessary. And we've seen that. We haven't seen the number of chief media officer titles rise dramatically, but we've seen more advertisers leaning into media. Clients need to look at their contracts, their media contracts every couple of years because the media environment changes so dramatically. We have heard those horrible stories about contracts being in drawers for 5 years and not referred to. So a lot of that is true. If you haven't relooked at your media contract in the past year and a half, it's time to do so. And again, the same general advice that the ANA Ubiquity report gave is that media needs to be managed proactively. It's the client's money. Clients, even mid-sized clients, and even some smaller ones would greatly benefit by having an internal person be head of media. Certainly working with the agency, but it's your money, Mr. Client, so you should manage it accordingly.